Welcome back to NGTV Plays, the Age of Decadence, featuring myself, Spencer, and my co-host, Matt. Last time you saw us fighting the tutorial guy, he was an asshole. Now we get to actually play the game. So there are 8 different backgrounds. We have Assassin, Thief, Grifter, Drifter, Mercenary.
Grifter.
Oh, we should do Grifter. While most thieves prefer to form gangs and act under the cover of darkness, grifters see no reason to trade the loss of society for the loss of a guild. Preying upon the gullible with a combination of personal magnetism and persuasion, the grifter's art is rarely noticed. This is like the talking guy.
Yeah,
you know?
This is the one that I wanted.
Yeah. So we should go for a white dude. I don't think you want to do like tattoos too much. You know what I'm saying? We got to be the guy that everyone is comfortable with. Definitely not Snape hair. That's not bad. Can we turn them? Oh, okay, good. That's Snape. We don't want that. Oh, God. I mean, sure, I trust him with, like, you know, my money, but I wouldn't trust him with my life.
Color. I'm blonde.
I was going to say, you should just make you. Hello. I'm here.
Oh.
So these are the different houses, but you're not going to be able to change your reputation, I'm assuming.
Oh, my name.
Oh, of course.
Matthias.
Matthias or Matthias?
I don't know.
Matthias. Matthias is what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
Matthias. I should be like, it'd be like Matthias. Matthias. There's 2 T's. Matthias.
Okay.
Nice. All right, next.
What is this?
That's just the different factions you can have a reputation with. Because isn't in this game there are no evil people or good people. It's just whoever you have more of a relationship with.
I don't know.
That's what I read. When diplomacy fails, I was going to read that one. Well, for most people, the focus is on trying to belong and having a place called their own. Dude, I would play this game and be a merchant so bad, so hard. I would merchant it so hard. Oh, yes. Okay, so take that shit out of intelligence and perception. We don't need constitution. Definitely a ton of charisma, though. Just keep pumping that up. Oh, we have a reaction bonus with charisma. Interesting. We should up our dexterity, lower our strength. We don't need that. No, upper, yeah.
Upper what?
I was going to say dexterity.
Oh, yeah, because that's what our action points are.
Oh, now we have 9 action points.
Yeah. SP bonus, influence the non-combat skill pool. Okay, we definitely need to have that.
Oh, that's skill point bonus. So it's what percentage of skill point extras that we get every level. So wait. Are those the stats we want to go with? Do we want Constitution to be at a 5?
Well, like I said before, like...
No, we don't want any accuracy. Well, lower Constitution real quick. Okay, so it only brings it down by 5. And then we can either add more accuracy or more action points, I feel. Then we have up to 10, which is what we had before. Now we have an accuracy bonus. So our dump stats are damage bonus. Now, okay, what does the damage bonus affect? Does it affect all damage or just damage modifiers? Just straight up damage modifiers.
It is checked in dialogue and interactions within the game world. So I guess intimidate and stuff like that is probably tied to something like this.
And damage bonus. For all influence combat skill points pool during character generation and determines just damage. So like I mean that even affects your bow damage.
Yeah.
So we're fuck. This game is brutal. Like I almost feel maybe we shouldn't but I don't know. What's reaction bonus do? Reaction and reputation modifiers.
It is frequently checked in dialogues.
Yeah, but reaction must be it's your combat. Something having to do with combat. Maybe not. Maybe it's like how quickly you respond or something in a conversation or...
Probably.
Okay, let's not worry about it. We just went down in skill points though, unless you just used a skill point.
No.
Oh, we went down at combat skill points. We had 20 combat skill points, and then you lowered the strength, and it went down to 15. Oh, it's because you lowered Constitution?
What the hell? What happened?
I don't know.
Didn't we have 10?
No, we had 9 because we moved 1 into Perception. So if you lower Dexterity and Perception by 1 and put them back into Constitution and Strength, we'll have 20. Oh, interesting. But then we just lost Civil Skill points. Because if we have 20, we can only put 2 things up to level 3, like we just had for the in-game thing. You know, the tutorial.
Yeah.
So if we have 15, we can only put 1 thing up to level 3, and then two more things at level 1 for combat skills. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 more things at level 2. We do 2 fit. No, we can't. We can only do 1 thing at level 2 and 1 thing at level 3 now in combat skills.
Okay. Well, I feel like you'll be able to raise these eventually.
Oh yeah, I'm sure every level you get points. You want crossbow? You want to spread it like that, or do you want to just do like... Just have 2?
We have to spread it like this. You can't have 2 more than 1.
Wait. Go back?
We can either have 3 or we can have 2 2s. 1 3 or 2 2s or 3 2s.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, shit. Oh, and there's critical strike that you can raise as well.
Bows already have a...
Critical strike bonus.
Yeah.
Bonus. Alright, so we should definitely... Well, we're playing a grifter, so sneaky might be important. But we should focus on impersonate, etiquette, persuasion, and streetwise, I feel. I mean, it's up to you. It's really your character, but... Just put my 2 cents. So what is streetwise specifically? I mean, obviously it's
a mix of different traits ranging from shrewd awareness to the inability to trust that are most helpful with one's deal with people a lot.
Okay, so this is like, okay, so you're gonna know when somebody's lying to you. I think more often with streetwise. Persuasion, that's how well you lie to people. So persuasion is how well you lie to people. Streetwise is how well you know whether or not people are lying to people or lying to you. And then etiquette is how you, I guess, have over etiquette real quick. Okay, proper behavior protocols. So like how you do well in a more like uppity situation.
And then like,
what does lore do? So knowing stuff might be important about old shit. What about trading?
Oh, trading might be good.
More than an art of buying cheap, trading shows its acolytes the power of gold, uncovers hidden opportunities, and teaches that everything has a price. Wait, if you lower that by 1, just keep it at 2, so we have a little bit in it, and then lower something else again, up something else up here again. Would that be
like
better or worse?
Persuasion.
I think that's pretty good. What do you think?
I have no idea, but yes, I think this is fine.
Yeah, let's do it. Matthias. Or Matthias. Matatias. Super VGA driver detected. Setting color depth from 8-bit to 16. 16-bit.
All right.
The world and an empire that once ruled it lie in ruins. Noble houses that lorded over provinces and commanded vast armies have been reduced to broken city-states. The Imperial Guard remnants of the Imperial Army acts as a deterrent to open warfare. The knowledge of the old days has all been forgotten. Hucksters peddle ancient wares of no value to the ignorant, and the lords seek and hoard artifacts they barely understand. A fanatical mysticism is slowly gaining favor, and long-held resentments are rising to the surface. Some speculate that another war approaches, others actively encourage it. Times like these bring nothing but suffering for the common man. However, they offer a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to those determined to seize the moment and follow it to riches, power, glory, and often an untimely death. Your adventure starts in Tiran, a small, crumbling town far away from the main tracks of travelers and caravans. It's been dying for the last 100 years or so, kept alive only by the combined efforts of its inhabitants. Broken stonework has been replaced by makeshift wooden construction, creating the impression that a new town is slowly emerging from the ruins of the old one. Much like Tiran, the noble house controlling the town has seen better days. Before the war that toppled the empire and the devastation that ensued, House Daratan was one of the most powerful houses. But that was then, and times have changed. Today, it barely has enough strength to maintain its hold over the local guilds. You arrived in Tiran a few days ago. It greeted rows of crucified men, crude totems to keep the raiders away. Why anyone would want to be a raider was beyond your understanding. Why kill someone when there were men gullible enough to hand you their money just because they were asked?
Oh, that's neat.
Of course, you had to know how to ask, but you were always gifted when it came to that part. Oh, that's nice. It has a little specific thing. Okay. Women willing to share their beds for a few coins. I mean, if you're going to play an RPG, you got to have women willing to share your bed, right? You see the inn's patrons begin to gather around during the guard man, who paces in circles, muttering. A murmur of expectation runs through the room, and sure enough, the man stops his pacing, turns with a dramatic flourish, cries out, "A tale!" All are quiet now, but the man's rich, deep voice rolls out to fill the silence. "A tale for tonight's entertainment. And what a tale! History itself will unfold before your very eyes, a tale of mystery and wonder. Come one, come all, and listen." A smile drops on the Tory Stellar's face. His brow gathers into a frown, and he begins to speak in a low, somber tone. "A great war raged across the empire, the frenzied Centauri burning and looting their way across the land. Our brave legions fighting to stem the tide, but though they could hold the Centauri themselves, even then, they were no match for the terrible demons.
Take a moment. You're reading too fast.
Even they were no match for the terrible demons the Centauri had brought with them from their homeland. Our loyal soldiers were slaughtered by the thousands. The Emperor's magi sought to counter the terrible might of the demons with their magics. But even though they worked feverishly to devise new spells, it was of no use. The demons shrugged off every incantation the magi hurled at them. Jesus. Desperate for a solution, the Emperor summoned Abu Hassan in Habadad al-Sarabi, the first of the magi, to his side in the holiest of chambers deep under the palace. "O learned one, tell me," said the Emperor. "Tell me that you have found a solution, O wisest of my servants. Tell me that you have discovered some weakness in the accursed Centauri demons. Tell me how we can destroy these monsters, who feel no pain, no fear, who never tire or rest." And Abu Hassan ibn Haddad did stroke his beard gravely. The storyteller stops to mime Ibn Haddad's gesture, folding his arms, looking thoughtful, and stroking an imaginary beard to the chuckles of the audience before continuing, and said to his emperor...
He has a beard.
And said to his emperor, "We must seek allies." The emperor looked at Ibn Haddad in bewilderment. "Allies? What allies can we call upon? The empire stretches from coast to coast. All men except the steppe nomads rally to fight under my banner. There are no more allies to call on. Mortal allies, yes, but there are other worlds than this one, my emperor, higher than the eye can see and further than any man can travel. There are strange and bewildering realms for which the rigid laws of our reality are merely suggestions. If we could persuade the beings who reside in those realms to come to our aid." The emperor sat for a moment, considering, but always he returned to that inescapable truth, that the empire was dying around him. How many of these beings would answer our call? And would they be enough? The demons are terrible in their power. I have stridden the paths of the future in my dreams, and I have seen 3 who would come to our aid. Together, their might is a match for the demons, answered Ibn Haddad confidently. The emperor cast his hands in the air, hope alight in his face for the first time. "Truly, the world is wondrous. You have my blessing, Magus. Go forth and call up these allies. All the resources of the empire are at your disposal." Ibn Haddad returned to his tower and once again traveled the paths of the future. For 3 days and 3 nights he quested. When at last he emerged, he summoned a great conclave of his brothers. There he ordered them to build a great doorway, a path into the realm that can't be reached by land or by sea. Working together, the Magi built the doorway that would have taken mortal men months and mere weeks. Though many died of the exertion, when it was done, Ibn Haddad blessed the doorway himself and ordered one of the brothers through, as an emissary to the other realms. Patiently they waited for their emissary to return, and return he did a day later. But when they attempted to talk to him, he seemed unable to recognize anyone, and had lost the very power of speech itself. Undeterred, Ibn Haddad sent forth another emissary, and then a third when the same fate befell that one, but it was no use. None could speak of what they had seen through the doorway. At last, Ibn Haddad sent them away and returned to his tower to travel the paths of the future one last time. When he returned to his brothers, he appeared visibly aged, bent and leaned on his staff of office. But he had an answer. He had his brothers forged him a helmet of the finest crystal, weaving potent magic through and around it. Then Ibn Haddad did take the helmet and place it upon his own head, and though his brothers begged him not to, did stride through the gate himself. The storyteller stops for a moment, surveying his audience. All eyes are on him. The audience held rapt by his story. He smiles slightly, then continues. For 7 days and 7 nights his brethren held vigil before the doorway. But on the 8th day, as most had given him up for lost, Ibn Haddad returned. When his brothers questioned him as to why he had been gone so long, he seemed shocked that so much time had passed, but thoughts of demons weighed heavily upon him. He brushed aside their questions and announced that he had made a deal with those who dwell in the darkness on the other side of the doorway. The lords of that place had agreed to send 3 of their number to aid the empire. In exchange, 7 times 7 men would go through the doorway to honor the lords in their realm. 7 times 7 men were chosen to follow Ibn Haddad back through the doorway to the otherworldly realms. And true to their word, a week later he returned with 3 of the lords accompanying him. Of the other men who accompanied him, there was no sign.
They did.
The storyteller stops talking and bows, looking expectantly at the audience. "The war!" yells one of the guests. "Tell us about the war. Tell us how the lords of the other realms cast down the Kantari demons." The storyteller straightens again and raises an eyebrow at the man, smiling like a benevolent uncle teaching lessons to a favored nephew. 100 tales I could tell you of the Great War, and still we would have but scratched the surface. Some sages will tell you that the old empire was destined to fall from the day it was born, that the very moment of its ending was written in the stars themselves. That empires and kingdoms, like mortal men, grow tall and enjoy their time in the sun for but a brief moment before they too must pass, to make way for those that follow. Thus, sages will tell you that the Kantari kingdom was born for but a single purpose, to be the instrument of fate that bring about the destruction of the old empire when the time was right. That by growing stronger, so did we force the Kantari themselves to grow stronger. For it was their destiny to bring us down, you see. The fate ensured that they were strong enough to do so. That is why the demons came. Our legions could hold the savage Kantari at bay, but even they couldn't fight fate. Couldn't fight the demons who shrugged off blade and arrow, who slaughtered all that were sent against them countless lives. That is why, though Ibn Haddad and his allies came and defeated the demons, the old empire could not be saved. The old empire had already fallen, for that was always her fate, to die there that day in blood and fire.
Oh, shit.
The storyteller smiles at your question, turning to accept a drink. The innkeeper brings him. Raising the flagon in salute of his host, he throws his head back and drinks deeply. After a long moment, he stops, sighs contentedly, then turns his attention back to you, wiping the foam from his mouth. Ah, thirsty work this. Now, what was it you were asking? Do I believe in the demons that they say the Kantari unleashed in the old empire? Well, look around you, my friend. He waves his hand in a circle, but you sense he isn't simply talking about the inn, that his gesture encompasses the entirety of the fallen empire. What do you see, friend? Ruins, destruction. The rotting carcass of the greatest empire ever to grace this world. What mere mortal force could have brought that down? No, the stories must be true. Only demons could have done such a thing. Well, at least the game is somewhat well written. While Petrus was an unknown and ordinary-looking man, the personas he created to pull various cons were well known. Ah, so we can learn from this guy. Often famous characters, usually wanted dead. He sold silver mines. Okay, so what brings you to this quaint little town? Let's see what he's got. The tall guitar man in dusty weather clothes enters the inn and looks around. Several caravan crewmen carry in his chest and bags. The men carefully inspect his belongings, and after a brief conversation, pays the crewman. Hail to you, Master Gracious. It has been a while. How may we serve you? The innkeeper's intention is on gracious, or gracious, which he doesn't prevent him from gesturing to his servants to pour gracious wine. 3 fingers indicate the quality. Roast a fresh bird over the coals and move to the chest for the storage. A room for me and storage for my goods. Send for a good lore master. I'll require services later on. And someone of your guards to make sure I'm not disturbed. This should be interesting. I wish I didn't have to leave. Petrus reaches into his bag and pulls out a bundle of clothes. Put them on and go introduce yourself to the good merchant. Alright. Lore masters are a pretentious sort. Just pretend that you know everything better than him. Dismiss his attempts to argue with you and throw in some names and obscure references. Alright, I guess we're gonna learn from this guy. It's like some weird pseudo-training for our grifting. Are you? I am the lore master you've sent for. What do you want me to look at?
Success.
I have a gift for Lord Antidus, and I wish to have it appraised, to be certain that the gift is worthy of my lord and benefactor. He hands you a carefully wrapped scroll. It's a simple map. Why do you think it has any value at all? Looks at you suspiciously. Surely, you've noticed a seal. Maybe this particular seal is a rarity in your village, but here, I was assured that this is a symbol of Thor Agatha. Yet you wouldn't have called for a lore master if you didn't want to be absolutely sure. Or, streetwise, Thor Agath seals are common as dirt. Are you out of your mind? It's not a gift, it's an insult. What should I do? Now that I think about it, I recall that Lord Antidus mentioned several times that he wished he had a map of the Empire etched in silver. That would be a worthy gift indeed. Look meaningfully at the trader. Trader reaches for his purse. Friend, benefactor, please accept this humble sum and do what you can to turn this accursed map into a worthy gift. The map will be ready tomorrow. Well, leave. Trading charisma. Weigh the purse in your hand. Humble sums by humbled gifts. Trader, you're buying a favor of a lord, not fish at the market.
Ha!
Ha! The trader sighs and gives you a small bag. Gemstones from Ashkan. The gift better be particular. How'd it go? Surprisingly easy. The trader thinks this map is valuable enough to present it to Lord Antidus. Good. Talk to Fang, the local lore master. If the map has any value, he'll take it off your hands. I must leave now before the town realizes that the healing elixirs I've sold here are nothing but water mixed with cheap dye and fancy bottles. I'm sure that you can survive on your own now, but if you need me, look me up in Ganazur. I've heard that Lord Meru had a religious experience and is talking about goods non-stop. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You gain new insight, which can be used to increase your skills. 12 skill points gained. That's pretty sick. Oh, I like that. Up our skill points. Cool. We should up our impersonators a little bit more. That shit's cool.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching our second episode of the Age of Decadence. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button. If you want to see some more, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.